Hey all, welcome back. This week we'll haul some tail on the way to Long Island with the fastest speeds I've ever been while solo. Long Island is entirely different than Georgetown with a considerably slower, laid-back pace, a much smaller population, and not even close to the number of cruisers that are seen in Georgetown. We'll meet some locals and spend a bit of time interacting with them, then get in the water for some spearfishing, where I finally end up getting my first fish with a pole spear. After the needed respite, we'll start making our way back to Georgetown. So join me on this wonderful adventure, and don't forget to live your dream. So I'm Amy, a Midwestern Kansas girl, and this is my boat, Maritopia. After moving to Florida in 2020, buying a $5,000 Facebook Marketplace worn-out 1973 Pearson sailboat, and spending 2 years endlessly working on her, I quit my job and have started my solo sailing adventures with the goal to truly immerse myself into as many different cultures as possible. I hope you're able to enjoy the videos as much as I do living the experiences. Oh, it's super early in the morning. I think it's about 7 o'clock. Sun is coming up. It's time to move on. Make it over from White Cay to Long Island today. Full sails. Send it! Come on, 8 knots. Where you at? There's 8 knots. So that speed is also with the swim platform down, the ladder causing drag and pulling the dinghy. That dinghy and ladder caused at least 1 or 2 tenths. So I had to put a reef in the main. I also pulled the head sail in. It was getting a little too risque. So I've got the head sail and the main sail both reefed. And we're still pushing 6.5 knots. So we're still hauling tail. There's Long Island. And it goes way south of here. It's the island chain. Actually, it's just a long island. About 30 miles south and east of the Exumas. So I put all 3 reefs in the main. It was just way too much. We're still going at low to mid 20s, but I did let the head sail back out all the way. We're just about into Long Island. We anchored in this gorgeous sound, which is Thompson Bay. It also happens to be the first time that I've taken Maritopia south of the Tropic of Cancer. If you're interested in this like I was, I've put a link in the description below. There's a black tip. Tyrone is a local here. He's cleaning some of his catch and throwing it down there in the... There's a few nurse sharks, a black tip. They're loving the stuff that Tyrone is tossing. I'd never seen nurse sharks eat any other meat than lobster, so this was pretty cool for me. Walking up from the dinghy dock. We're walking into this little village in hopes of finding something to eat, and maybe have a few drinks. This road we're on is the one and only that's paved on the entire 80-mile long island, and it runs the entire length of the island. I need rum anyway. convenient for me since I was nearly out of rum, but I've found that Bahamian liquor stores are almost always better stocked than the grocery stores. I'm making Caribbean plans. In a liquor store. I got a lot of goodies in here. Now that the important stuff was out of the way, we went down to a local restaurant that Tyrone owns. Have you ever seen a crab leg this long? I sure hadn't. Not even close. Can you imagine the size of the body that it must have had? Eating some guava. Never had this. Pretty good though. One of the locals here gave it to me. Oh, he's eating a fresh banana. Yep. Not bad.
What is that?
Guava? I'm taking the peel off. I was eating the peel too.
I believe that. Wow.
Oops. Interesting. Well, before going back to the boat, I suppose I need to grab some groceries as well. So no sooner than I poke a bit of fun at them, I end up going into the best stocked grocery store I've seen in the entire Bahamas Family Islands. Keeping in mind that every single good in the Bahamas is delivered by boat, this store being stocked like this is not normal. For those that have been asking about the prices of food, I just went to the grocery store. You will never guess what that cost me. Now time for the real reason I wanted to break from Georgetown, some spear fishing. No yellowtail snapper, but trout got a lionfish. Surprisingly, there wasn't much here, so we moved on. Don't let the pretty colors fool you. Lionfish are not native to the Atlantic. They're an invasive and predatory reef fish that kill the native fish, which in turn has an overall negative impact on our beloved reefs. Killing as many as possible is a good thing. And besides, I find the meat to be quite delicious. Yeah, it's meat. Going from a gun to a pole has been really challenging for me. One missed shot after another. But I did finally end up getting my first fish with a pole spear this day. Pretty good day spear fishing. Got a lionfish over there, and there's a couple of snappers. Trout got these two in one shot. I hadn't even made it out of the dinghy yet from putting my mask and fins and stuff on, and he got these in one shot within 30 seconds of being in the water. And this is my first real fish with a pole spear, lane snapper. I'm still learning to use a pole spear. I'm used to a spear gun. So here I am spearing 12 to 14 inch fish. Then I get this video and some pictures from my daughter, who is with her fiance in Mexico. Guess we know who the better fisher is. Way to inadvertently make fun of me, honey. But check out these fish they caught. Crazy good day for them. Cheers! Cheers! I love you both!
Love you.
Woo! Ah! I love you!
I love you.
Bye!
Bye, Mama.
So on the way over here from Georgetown to Long Island, I realized that my main sheet, the line that makes the main sail go up and down, I realized it was a huge pain in the butt to operate. Well, I've checked it out now, so come with me and I'll show you what happened. So we have this main sheet that goes back to the cockpit. It goes around this sheath, and then it goes up the boom, around another sheath, and then back down to the mainsail. So you can see that this pulley is split in half. So I don't have another one this size, so I'm gonna replace just the sheave. So I'm measuring it to see if I can use, these are the old sheaves out of my old Traveler system, and I think that these two pulleys are the same, but I'm gonna measure it and see. So both of the bigger pulleys on here are the same, but they're riveted in with stainless rivets. The challenge is going to be drilling these stainless rivets out, because stainless is notoriously difficult to drill. So let's get drilling. I have no other option other than to use the cockpit. It sucks because I get metal shavings everywhere, but it is what it is. So I've got the head of that off. Now I need to get a punch, and hopefully it's that easy to just punch it out from this side, pull it out that side. We'll see. So that should get most of the metal shavings, but I promise you, I'll get some in my feet from time to time too. So here's the screwdriver that I cut to fix the windlass. So it's got a blunt end. There's my punch. There it is. And there's my sheave. Put it in the main sheet block, and it'll be just as good as new. Safety first, folks. That's the policy we have on this boat, is safety first, always. I'm gonna clean this metal shavings up some, grab a bolt and some different tools, and we'll get right back at it. And just like that, that's clean, and I've got different tools. Pretty easy. I used a nylock lock nut, so it won't back off. Now that main sheet rolls right over that sheath perfectly like it should. I'll call that a day. Heading back to Georgetown today. Spent a few days in Long Island. Now it's time to get back to Georgetown. Loving life, living the dream. Yoo-hoo! Got some great following seas. My first downwind sail. Actually, this might be my first downwind sail ever. It's working out pretty good. This is a great downwind sail. I'm getting ready to turn. I'm almost back to White Cay, the southernmost Exuma island. And once I reach the shallows there, I'll be turning more towards the west. So we'll probably be directly going downwind. We'll see though. I'm loving it. I am also loving how I've got the dinghy on the davits now. It takes about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes to get up. And I mean, it couldn't work any better. So, you.
I think I might be hooked on you. I love the things you said to me. It seems like you like me too. We can take it slow, make sure we do this right. Canceled all my plans to be with you tonight. So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever...
Well, we're going directly downwind now. So, it's the first time ever alone that I've gone open book. So I'm a little bit hesitant to put out the entire main. I might. I still have another 23 miles to go. So I may end up putting it all the way up. But for now, we're making roughly 6 knots, give or take. So putting that mainsail up on the starboard side has added about 3/4 of a knot, maybe a full knot. I do have a preventer tied on to the midship cleat. I may get a longer line out and tie it to the one of the cleats on the bow, just so I can get that mainsail all the way out. In fact, I think I'll do that right now. With this sail setup, most people call it wing on wing. A friend, Lance, who's an old salt that's now in Georgetown, calls it open book. And since I learned quite a bit from Lance, that's just what stuck with me. I'm curious what others may call it. If you do call it something else, leave it down in the comments. See how I was able to pull the mainsail forward more just then? This is because when tied to the midship cleat, I'm not able to pull the mainsail out any further. With it now out all the way, it will have more windage, which translates to a faster boat speed. So now I've got the main out as far to starboard as it'll go. It's running into one of the shrouds. And again, it's reefed down, but this is my very first time solo going open book, so I don't want to push it. Slow steps. And we are making between 5.5 and 6 knots. So, love it. Phew! So the line that I tied to the bow right here, to the bow cleat, that's a preventer. For all my non-sailor friends, it's so, since I have the main sheet out so far, the white line right here, in case the wind catches the main can't go flying over to the other side. It's pretty dangerous when that happens. It could knock you out or potentially kill you. But more likely than not, it would do damage to my rig. So the preventer is a really valuable, quick tool to stop that. If you'd like to stay up to date and follow along with the adventures, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next week, we'll finish the short passage into Georgetown, where we'll meet up with another friend that's now there, Lance. Having sailed for decades, Lance will help untangle and get my spinnaker flying for the very first time. Then we'll explore a part of Georgetown that we've not yet been and dig deeper into the Bahamian lifestyle. After that, the first storm in a few months makes its way over top, enveloping us in a sailor's worst nightmare, a lightning storm.